Hey guys, my name is Paul. I currently work with ATKINS as a graduate civil engineer in oil and gas. I have a bachelor's in civil engineering and a master's in advanced structural engineering.
Hello everyone, I am Aaron Stewart. I am a structural engineer with ATKINS in the Structural Integrity Management team, and I graduated with a Master's from Strathclyde University.
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm a structural engineer with ATKINS, working mainly in structural analysis and decommissioning. I got into civil engineering through university, where I did a Master's in Civil Engineering Design and Management at the University of Dundee.
So today, me and my colleagues will be talking you guys through what civil engineering is and why you should be a civil engineer. I have decided to define civil engineering based on three things. The first definition will be based on man versus his natural environment. The second definition will be based on science and technology, while the final definition will be based on every built facility you see around you. Civil engineering can be defined as the ability of man to bend the natural forces and the natural environment for his own benefit. For example, if you want to cross a river and move from point A to point B, and you're able to place a log of wood across the river, you've basically practiced civil engineering. A second definition, civil engineering can be defined as the application of mathematics, sciences such as physics and chemistry, and available technology in the design and implementation of physical infrastructure. And then finally, civil engineering is basically just everything you see around you that has been built. Every built facility you see around you, such as bridges, road, airports, canal, dams, etc. Why civil engineering and not construction or building or design engineering? Well, this is because civil engineering is the second oldest engineering discipline known to man. The oldest engineering discipline known to man is the military engineering, and civil engineering was created as a way to differentiate the military engineering from the civil engineering. But then as we made advances in science and technology, other engineering branches such as the mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, computer engineering, and what have you, broke off from civil engineering. But civil engineering has so many major sub-disciplines, but for this presentation, I'll only talk about the structural engineering, transportation engineering, geotechnical engineering, environmental engineering, and water resource engineering. But just as a side note, there are other sub-disciplines such as the material engineering, island design engineering, public health engineering, forensics engineering, etc., etc. Structural engineering. A structural engineer is basically concerned with the structural design and structural analysis of structures. Examples of such structures include buildings, bridges, towers, flyovers, overpasses, tunnels, offshore structures, aerostructures, and other structures. A structural engineer is concerned with the design of bridges. For example, this cable stay bridge right here. They are also concerned with the design of tunnels. They also design towers. Pretty much not uncommon, structural engineers can also be employed to design structural components such as the wings of an airplane, the fuselage of an airplane, and other structural parts of airplanes and rockets. Transportation engineering. A transportation engineer is basically concerned with moving people and goods efficiently and safely from one point to another in an orderly manner. Therefore, they are basically concerned with the design of streets, canals, highways, rail system, airport, ports, and mass transit. A transportation engineer design highways such as this complex highway system you can see in this picture. They design airports for planes to take off and land. They design railways for efficient travel. They design canals as well. Next, we have the geotechnical engineer. A geotechnical engineer is basically concerned with the study of rock and soil that will be needed to support civil engineering structures. So basically, they are concerned with the design of foundations, tunnels, road subgrade, slope stabilities, retaining walls, and dams. A geotechnical engineer is very integral in the design of almost all civil engineering structure. This picture here depicts the construction of a retaining wall. Over here on this picture, we could see a geotechnical engineer doing some subsoil analysis for the subgrade of a road. Geotechnical engineers are also concerned with the design of foundations, and geotechnical engineers are also concerned with the design and construction of island. This is the Palm Beach Island in Dubai, and it is one of the largest man-made artificial island currently. Environmental engineering. The environmental engineer creates solutions that will protect and improve the health of living organisms and improve the quality of the environment. They're basically concerned with the protection of human health. They protect the natural ecosystem, and they are also concerned with the enhancement of the quality of human life in general. So basically, environmental engineers work in water treatment facilities and plants, such as the one depicted in this picture. They are also concerned with the design of new renewable energy sources that are more environmentally friendly. They work in waste management system and sewage recycling systems as well. And they are also concerned with island design and terrain transformation. Next, we have the water resource engineering. The water resource engineer is basically concerned with the assessment of the quantity, quality, and variability of groundwater and surface water. So they basically do so many testings on drinking water. They are concerned with water storages, such as the reservoirs. They are also concerned with making water available for power generation, agricultural irrigation, and so many other purposes. So basically, they design facilities such as reservoirs and dams. Over here in this picture, we could see a dam holding some amount of water. Water resource engineers are also concerned with the design of water storage facilities and reservoirs. They can also design the water system that runs through a nuclear cooling tower plant. And now I'll hand it over to my colleague Aaron to tell you guys what civil engineers do.
So what do civil engineers do? In their most basic form, civil engineers design, construct, and maintain. And in the design stage, this will go to consultants, and this is where you'll see analysis and calculation, and drawings and design tech notes to make buildings and structures. Construction, this is for contractors who will actually carry out the work that has been designed by a consultant. Contractors construct buildings, bridges, railways, and many more to produce a final product which is bringing the designer's vision to life in the best way possible and most functional way possible. And then finally we have maintenance, which is again mainly a contractor subset, which is to maintain the existing and built facilities, conduct repair jobs and replacement jobs, and maintain order to the built construction. So this is where you find us, Atkins. We have many subsets of engineering within our consultancy. This would include transportation design, infrastructure design, nuclear and clean energy, aerospace, defence, security and technology, Faithful and Gould, and our subset, which is offshore wind and oil and gas. And here we have some lovely pictures of some of the assets that we deal with. And here we have a set of offshore wind turbines producing energy to bring back onshore. And here we have the schematics of a conductor, which is used in our drilling sector. Now I'll pass you over to my colleague Josh to talk more.
Hello, I'm going to run through a wee bit about why you should want to be a civil engineer and the kind of things you can expect to do as a civil engineer. So being a civil engineer gives you an opportunity to contribute to society in a great way, help communities around the world. So that can be anything from creating homes and power systems, as well as supporting vital infrastructure in both developed and developing countries, and contributing to global economies through the construction of office space and other business facilities like that. You can also be involved in the construction and maintenance of healthcare facilities and security systems, whether that be environmental security or more to do with the armed forces. You will also be given opportunities to work in leisure sectors, so to make sure that there are facilities for people to enjoy safely, but it also puts you in an important position to help protect the environment with your skills and knowledge that you learn being a civil engineer. Being a civil engineer does put you in the unique position that you can be involved in understanding the technologies that were used to create buildings in the past, and use that knowledge and other knowledge you'll gain to influence how we build things in the future to help make sure that we have a sustainable environment for everybody. There are a couple of other perks to being a civil engineer. The salary is always pretty competitive being a civil engineer, and it is a globally employable qualification to have. If you're a civil engineer, you shouldn't really find too much bother finding a job anywhere really. To get into civil engineering, it's important to remember it's not just about maths and physics. I think that's a misconception a lot of people have. You will be given the opportunity to work in teams with lots of other people, interesting people with interesting jobs like architects, surveyors, ecologists, managers, etc. And as I've touched on briefly, you'll be in a position to bring benefits to communities, whether that be through infrastructure, leisure facilities, health facilities, things like that, and that really will improve people's lives. Also gives you the opportunity to contribute to a sustainable future. As I mentioned there, you can build the world of tomorrow. That's all about making sure that we use sustainable materials, have sustainable practices, and I think civil engineers really are a driving force behind a lot of that. So there are lots of different routes to becoming a civil engineer. It doesn't necessarily require formal higher education. You can go through apprenticeship routes, where perhaps you have a foundation apprenticeship, which could lead to a modern apprenticeship, a graduate apprenticeship, things like that. Or you can go a more formal educational route, where you maybe pick up a HNC or HND at college, or a degree at university. Quest scholarships can also be available as a route into civil engineering. That base combined with experience can lead to chartership. And as a chartered civil engineer, your opportunities only grow bigger, and you become more employable with a better salary and more opportunities to work in interesting projects. This is just a wee graph showing you how that would work, starting off maybe with a foundation apprenticeship, where if you think it might be something you want to do, lots of companies can offer you the opportunity to kind of get in for a little while, maybe while you're at school. Don't maybe have that experience or knowledge yet, but you can work in that space to see if it's something you're interested in, and then that might lead on to you trying to get an apprenticeship or more formal education in civil engineering. Just a wee overview of some of those routes there. So there are courses that you can take in your year 5 and 6, leading to certificates. You can also take on part-time courses while you're working, HNCs, part-time college, which would be an SPQ level 3. You can study full-time or part-time for university degrees, and as I mentioned, Quest scholarships are something that you might want to research yourself as another route into civil engineering.
So where can I learn more? If you want to learn more about civil engineering, you can check the official ICE website, which is ice.org.uk, or you can also check the UCAS website, and you can also check myworldofwork.co.uk, where they give so many helpful career advices to folks. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach back. Thank you so much for listening.